Hey everybody. Damn it, I'm doing it
Mic
again,
check
man.
again. 1, 2, 3. Hello.
All right, let's try this again. Hey everybody. Today is March 10th, 2023. I'm Gene.
And I'm Zane.
And you're hanging with Uncle.
How's it going, man?
Obviously pretty good.
Yeah. We've already started our Friday. I know we're starting a little late today. We apologize. We've just been kind of chilling and talking about, the week.
When you still hold on a 40-hour-a-week job, sometimes it gets in the way. So.
Man, and then the schedule's changing, and that's I don't want to talk about work right
Before
now.
we get started, though, if you have not already, please hit that subscribe button. And it's totally free to do it. And click that thumbs up, the like button. It really helps out our show.
Yeah, and hit the bell if you want any notifications about videos in the future. And also if you want to know when we go live. Yeah.
Ta-da!
All right. So we're ready to get going with today's story, or these week's stories. Man, honestly, it's been a long week, so bear with me if I stumble a little bit.
I know, honestly, there's been a lot of really big things happening in the news.
Yeah.
So you've probably already seen the news. I don't think we need to really go over a whole lot of what I've already seen during the week. So
honestly, I'm not too in tune with the news. You already know that. I've
Yeah.
told you that as much. I try to get in tune as much as I can, but this week I've been pretty disconnected. But I did find some pretty interesting topics. There was one that I saw that came up. A asteroid named, it was 2003 DW, I believe, and it has a 1 in 400 chance to, or at least 400 to 600, the scientists say, around there, to hit Earth in 2046. It's about 49 meters long. I mean, it's not large. They still consider it an asteroid, but it can still blow something up.
All right, if it's that wide, just imagine, an Olympic swimming pool is 50 meters one way.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
This just depends on how thick it is, but still, I wouldn't
Big
want a
enough to turn your
swimming
neck.
pool falling on me.
No, I don't want a swimming pool falling on me either. So, I mean, it's interesting, and also like big knock on wood situation, I guess, because we're putting it in the air. But it's honestly, I thought it was really interesting because they've tracked the asteroid for a while. They said about a few weeks, and they said it takes a few weeks to get this data too. NASA was the one who released it on Twitter as well. I mean, you can go check it out. There's also a scale model online too if you want to go see it.
Well, it's interesting that they have to wait for measurements because it takes so long for that ping to go out into space where it reaches your object.
It's light.
And then getting back to you. And then that second reading, they can start the math to say, okay, this is how fast it's going in.
Yeah, it's the travel distance of light, basically. And that's not essentially time, but light does have its own speed. And when you're looking at something, it's light reacting to what you're seeing. And like, for example, you could see something far out in space, but it could be gone and you don't know it yet.
Yeah.
Because you're already seeing the light that is still coming at you.
I know.
It's a weird concept.
It takes 8 seconds for light to reach Earth from the sun.
8 seconds?
8 seconds.
Okay.
I learned that
that's really fast. If you think about it.
So I took my kids to the Smithsonian one year, the aerospace, and man, that was a cool place. It's totally free.
Oh, cool. Is it a national place to go to?
Yeah, it's in D.C. Okay. And so they have the Spirit of St. Louis in there. They have John Glenn's capsule that he was, orbited the Earth in.
Oh, really cool.
There's a piece of moon rock in there that you can touch. The Smithsonian was really cool, man. So
the travel of light thing. I watched a video about this, how they scale things on the powers of 10.
Yeah.
By 10 meters. So I guess this asteroid has a power of 5. Well, no, it's within the power of 10. Sorry, not the power of 100. So it's the power of 1, basically, in size.
Yeah.
But it measures other things, like the pillars of creation. You know what those are, right? The big giant pillars in the sky.
Yeah.
They're already gone. They don't exist anymore. But we can still see them. But that's how light, how fast light travels. Basically, like we are still receiving the light from these pillars of creation that we've seen before. We can still take pictures, but eventually they will disappear because it's already gone.
Because every star does disappear.
It's gone in the space of which it is at, which is crazy. Like it's so crazy to think that something so large that you can see in space is gone already, but you can still see the image of it.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It really is.
Light is very interesting. Like it is. But there was also one more story I wanted to look at real quick because I did read this the other day too. It was a Russian astronaut who was brought down from a training exercise. So they had a training going on. It was way back in the day when it was still during the space race, I guess. And I'm trying to find the information, but he stated that he didn't want anybody to go on like his successor or anything like that because he knew whoever would drive the ship would die. They knew.
Yeah.
He knew that it would fall apart and they would die. He said he didn't want to do it, but he took the mantle to do it because he had only one condition for his higher ups to see him after the mission, to physically be able to see him after the mission. And there's a photo of it online and the story behind it and everything of him there as a shriveled up human being, and his people higher ups are looking down upon him in the mess of what they've done. He even told them that it would be a suicide mission for whoever was going to go on to it. And he's like, okay, so to prove you wrong, you get to look at me afterwards then. Yeah. Come see me afterwards, basically.
Time travel. I don't know how they determine that kind of stuff, man, but those are some brilliant minds, you know.
He knew that when the spacecraft was going to go where they wanted to practice with it, it would crash. And yeah, I thought it was just like another space idea because of linking off of the asteroid, but it was just during the space race.
And I mean, I'm not crazy, I'm not stupid when I say time travel. You know, when you're going like Mach 1, that means you're going faster than the speed of sound. So you are traveling through time in a sense. And then Mach 2, you're traveling 2 times the speed of sound. And when you're in space, that really has an effect. So it really fascinates me, the effect that travel does to the body.
Vladimir Komarov is his name.
Okay.
That's his name. Vladimir Komarov is the guy.
Thanks, Vlad.
He helped out in the space race for sure, but he proved to the Russian superiors that they were wrong in their race.
Yeah.
Because, man, that's intense.
Yeah, it is.
Space. That's all what I got.
Well, you know, I kind of want to talk about, and I'm not coming down on either side of this because this is a serious issue.
Okay.
Silicon Valley Bank was shut down by the feds.
Okay.
All of their assets were seized. And, you know, there's part of me that stick it to the big guy. You know, the 1%ers who keep living off of us. But then at the same time, what about the account holders? Well, you know, and the accounts they had and the money that was in that account. So, I mean,
yeah.
And then why did it fail? And their excuses because of all the rate hikes, because of the inflation that's been going on. So you raise interest rates, you lose people that want to invest because nobody wants to wait. Hey, I want the highest interest rate I can get for this loan.
Right, yeah.
And so I don't know. It's what do you guys? If you haven't heard about that, what do you think? But it's kind of a conundrum. It's another one of those rock paper scissors things.
Like we talked about last week. Yeah, it's one of those situations where it's affecting people, but it's also affecting other people. Where or whichever. I don't know.
There's collateral
guess,
damage.
Yeah.
There are other people that suffer because of these decisions and the state of affairs that really they had no contribution toward. It's no fault of their own, because the system has worked out the way it has, and it's a conundrum. I'm not approaching this from a judgmental standpoint. I'm really curious to know what you guys think about that, because the economy affects all of us.
True, it does. I mean, I don't know what they would do to like make that money back, or do they? I don't know. Well, how would you get your money back if your bank failed, or do you?
Okay, so here's the thing, and this is what you have to understand about FDIC. It's, your money's federally insured, right?
Right.
It's up to what I think is 150,000. But here's the thing: if your deposits are like say 50,000, but with interest, your account has grown to 100,000. FDIC is only going to insure you for your deposits. The money you've made in interest is gone.
Because that money in interest the bank has, right? Something like that. Okay, I guess, yeah, that makes sense, because that's the solid money that you've put in, like you basically put it into.
So, yeah, I mean, but really, and again, have you been made whole? Because the whole reason to invest is to make money. And if all you're doing is putting in dollar for dollar, you could have put it in a coffee can and gotten the same result.
Right, yeah, true. That makes sense. So with that, so you just take your money and go to another bank then, basically.
It does, but still, it's like,
Wouldn't
you rely on that money that you've earned from interest from your investments.
Right, yeah, understood. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm talking about, like, what would you do next? Like, it like that you would go to another bank then? Like, that's literally the next step.
The only option you have. I mean, there is no recourse for the consumer to get that money that they earned in interest. There's no recourse to protect the consumer, people like you and me.
Right. Again, yeah, that's not okay. It's not. But, like, if the bank fails, I mean, you kind of chose a bad bank. But either way, it's just like, jokes aside, I mean, I get inflation's affecting it and such, but, like, I'm not trying to, like, talk down about it. I'm trying to understand, like, I know that you are getting your money back, the money that you have put in, your concrete
invested
money. Yes, your concrete money. But the invested portion disappears. But wouldn't there be some safety precaution for something like that? That's where I'm trying to get at. Like, wouldn't you have, like, another bank to back that up or something like that? No,
you're
banks.
You're
putting
insured
your money into
federally for your deposits, and you'll get those deposits back. That's
okay.
That's all you're insured for is the money you put in.
I guess I'm just not seeing clearly because I don't have that kind of investment in a bank right now. I guess it's like I don't have that kind of money. I mean, I do it through trading instead. So it's like, if E-Trade fell through, then I would get that. Like, that makes sense. Like, that you would get your concrete money back. I mean, I would get more money back than what I have now anyways. I don't think it's a good comparison. I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to banking, honestly.
And again, that's why I would love to hear from our listeners what they think from their expertise and knowledge on the issue, because again, I find it just more of a conundrum than I do that. Yay, the bank lost and they got it stuck to them.
Right, yeah, because like you're saying, it's still like that's one of those paper rock scissors moments. It's like, how do you feel about that? That's why I'm kind of like, how else do you react about it? It kind of is what it is. We were talking about this earlier, actually, kind of recircling back to the conversations where you have to feel like, that it is what it is kind of situation, like with life and such like that.
Yeah.
Like that literally is that meaning. Like when you're in this paper rock scissors full circle situation, it's just like you kind of just have to like.
And if you think about it on a grander scale, this is one thing that I really disagree with from the Obama administration was bailing out the banks. Giving me that bullshit about they're too big to fail. You can kiss my ass because you and I don't have those protections.
No, we don't. We don't have those kind of protections.
And
well, yeah, no, we don't.
We don't.
No.
You know, you made a bad decision. You know, you suffer and you pay the consequences. Just like if I made a bad decision,
right,
and had to pay the consequences financially, why do you get off and we don't?
It's the same situation as companies who get bailed out too, huh?
You know, it really is.
I know that's like not rehashing old situations, but that's kind of the same comparison. We're talking about how people kind of are in a checkmate situation that bigwigs are like, "Ha, you don't have any say in it." Basically,
pretty much.
Like that's crazy to think. Holy crap! Man, there's so many loopholes in that we have to face as citizens, I guess.
You know, and honestly, that's why my investment strategy and style is simple. The way we do it, you know, I don't put my money in a bank other than my checking account. And you can't have a checking account unless you have a savings account with that bank. But yeah, I don't put my money for investing in the bank. For this reason.
Sorry, I got a text. But yeah, I know, I totally understand. Things need to change. It's kind of how we get to the bottom line of that.
Yeah.
Like putting full trust in not only just banks, like for example, like trust funds or like Roth IRAs and stuff like that. That still is something that we don't have power over. If you were to put your money into it, like even said E-Trade, like you put your money into it and it just disappears. It's like, oh, it's gone. That's it. Like, bye. Like,
but at least you know the thing with E-Trade. You have control over what you put in. You decide where to put your investment. Hopefully you pick a good one. You know, that is strictly on you, the investor, which is why we always say, do your research.
Be smart with your money and pay yourself, is what we say.
Yes.
Now, where you plan to pay yourself and give your money to is the issue now.
It really is. And again, I wholeheartedly subscribe to opening an E-Trade account. You can use it. You don't have to invest a darn thing, but it's a money market account, and which means you're always earning interest. Not at a very high rate, but you're always earning interest. And if you ever decide, you know, hey, I'm going to pull the trigger because I like this stock, the money's there. You don't have to worry about where it's going to come from.
It's more your choice with E-Trade.
It really is.
Yeah, but then it comes down to, like, you know, you can get professionals to do it instead of yourself and blah, blah, blah. But that's where you go and give your money to somebody else.
And if
even though it's still giving it to E-Trade.
Even if E-Trade does go belly up, it doesn't change the status of how many stocks we own in a company. Those shares still belong to us.
So would like another... Now, that's why I'm asking. Because, to my understanding, another trading company would pick us up somewhere.
So, I would have to read the rules from the Securities Exchange Commission, how that would work.
Yeah, because what happened to the Robinhood people back when? I can't remember. I'm trying to remember. Because
all I know is they lost a lot, and they don't do any advertising anymore.
No, not a lot. Not at all. They can't get celebrities anymore, for sure.
Right.
But with the people who left Robinhood, others took them in open arms and gave them like equal stock in the transition. So there was some weird thing that happened with the transition. But if trading companies can do that, then I'm pretty sure banks can find a way to do something like that, to have some kind of security blanket. Then I don't see why that wouldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
To bounce back to our bank topic.
But that's why I want to Eliminate the middleman as much as possible.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If you were going for that, the guys, we're going to invest your money for you guys, then that's just too many hands in the pot.
Put on the brakes.
That's too many hands in the pot for
Yeah.
you, you know? That's kind of how I look at it too. Like, even though, again, trading on E-Trade, whichever, there's still a security blanket there. There's still backup in some way because you make your choice. That's kind of the deal.
Exactly.
Yeah, true.
If you lose money, it's in the stock that you have because your money.
You ain't
is
making
your money.
good choices.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, I know right now the market's in a funk. It's just down.
Oh, everything's down right now, honestly. Making me feel down. It is.
But honestly, I wonder. And I don't know. I just wonder because everything is down now.
Mm-hmm.
Stocks are on sale. Is it time to dollar cost average? I know I'm not at the point where I said I wanted to be yet.
No, I'm not at my point either. And you are right. It is that time to where stocks are starting to become on sale because of everything.
Yeah.
Everything. So
Yeah.
Start building up your squirrels or your dragon coins, whatever, your squirrel nuts. Hold on to them and wait because everything's going to start getting cheap. And that's when you start hopping back in because it always bounces back.
Yeah.
It always bounces back, right?
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
You know, the bigger the company is, the more friends they have in Congress, the more legislation that's passed to help them be successful.
Yeah.
So again, man, green energy, ChargePoint, that's the one I'm waiting for.
That's the big thing, actually, and that does. You're good at doing these transitions. That's another topic we wanted to get onto. Is just being greener at some point. That is kind of the big topic, the big talk of the town. Also, people trying to get money relief, but that's also the next thing. But but with green energy, it's not only turning sunlight into energy, and it's not only turning wind into energy and stuff like that. It's also keeping the planet clean. There's a new survey that came out that we basically consume a credit card's worth of plastic throughout the day from what we do. Like, not
even in bottles like this.
Not like essentially having plastic itself. Like being around plastic. There's microplastics that are in the air that you can breathe through water, through minerals, everything. Like it's a thing, and you consume a credit card's worth of plastic. But when we can just transition to safer like materials, like it's kind of crazy to think about that. Like through breathing, through eating, you consume plastic. The UK banned plastic silverware. You can't have plastic silverware in the UK or styrofoam cups.
Oh my God. I mean, it's a whole nother conversation talking about how much plastic waste is in the oceans.
Right, exactly. I don't normally get straws. And I feel like that's more microfibers consumed if you're consuming plastic through plastic microfibers in your drink.
Yeah.
But also, not even because of that, like saving the turtles. There was a video I saw as a kid that it didn't terrify me, it helped my heart feel for an animal.
Yeah.
Where there was literally a video of people removing a straw from the turtle's nose, and it was literally the full straw, and you can tell it was either a McDonald's or a Wendy's straw because of, they have the colors down the side of their straws back then. But it's just, man, dude, like that literally told me, it was like, okay, no more straws in the ocean for me. I'm not getting straws. Literally, I don't get straws. Like, girlfriend will vouch. I don't like getting straws. If they put the straw in my drink, it's like, okay, like now it's gonna be thrown in the trash anyways. Now I won't even use it because microfiber or plastics.
We have two kinds of straws in this house: those metal ones and paper straws.
The paper straws are nice because they're degradable.
Yeah,
they're biodegradable. Yeah,
right.
Those are nice. The paper straws are nice to have. There's bamboo straws too, apparently too. That's really cool. But plastic consumption is pretty bad.
It really is, man. We need to dial it down. It's time to look at alternative sources of just about everything now.
Honestly, yeah. There's healthier directions for us to go. It may be cost effective. It may not be cost effective. Who knows? We have to discover it ourselves. But that just relies on supply and demand as well. If people demand less plastic and take in those alternatives, like I said, bamboo and you have paper, all those good extra, like metal, even like you said. Do you have like a little thingy that cleans the inside of your metal straws?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That'd be sick. I get some of those because the plastic's harmful for our environment. It's obviously harmful. It's obviously harmful to us with that study.
Right.
Like, we gotta branch away from the good old plastic, I feel like.
Well, speaking of that, time for Dumbass of the Week.
Hell yeah. You go first.
All right. So, my Dumbass of the Week is Fucker Carlson.
All right. Another nickname.
The Dominion voting machine company has a $1.6 billion lawsuit against Fox for knowingly and intentionally and recklessly telling lies about a fraudulent election in November of 2020. Knowing it was false because they have text messages and voice conversations of news anchors talking about how they know this is bullshit. Oh my God, why do I have to have this person on the air again? And Fucker Carlson, it was released of how much he hates Trump. when he's on, fake news spouting about how America hates Trump and Democrats hate Trump, he revealed how much he hates Trump for the situation he's putting them in. Always talk about these knowing and willful lies that Fox is telling on the air. And you got caught. You can't hide from it, Fucker Carlson. And you're a dumbass.
Definitely a dumb. He always is, though. I mean, let's be real. He's up there with Trader Green, I feel like, on the list.
Yeah. Finally, she gets a break from being on the dumbass this week.
Hey, she got a raise, I heard, though. She got promoted, huh? Yeah, that sounds bad. Anyways, that's another story. My turn for the My Dumbass of the Week. This is actually submitted by my girlfriend, Brittany. I love you. Michael Knowles gets the crown of Dumbass of the Week this week.
Do tell.
Oh, it's a great situation. If you haven't heard already, because it's honestly one of the biggest things searched for his name now on the internet, because everyone wants to hear this hateful speech that he gave about transgender people not being people. They aren't real. They don't exist. Like, poof, unicorns. They're not there. They don't exist to me.
That's like putting your fingers in your ears going, la, 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 I can't hear you, la, la, la.
We know on the show that we know what life is life. Everybody is a person. They're respectfully allowed to be themselves, no matter what it is. And
it's their choice.
It's their choice, their life, their way of being. And we can't tell them to not be that. And that's very discriminatory of him to think these people aren't people and to not allow them to have special things. His mindset is, no, they are who they are at birth and they're going to stay that way. They need to go and do their bathrooms the way they need to. And telling them how to live their lives the way they need to is very discriminatory in my eyes, because he's trying to tell people for who they are, like me. I am a black individual, to not be themselves and for who they want to be and for who they are. That hurts me because at some point in our American history, that was the case for who I am. And
right.
I was not around, of course, at that time for the luck of the draw, but it's like having people's suppression happening right in front of our eyes, but people don't care because it's different. So,
yeah.
Anyways, Michael Keaton is my dumbass of the week because he's dumb. Because people are people, and they're allowed to be people. So that's a big old F you to you.
Pretty much.
But yeah, it kind of hit home for me a little bit, because when Brittany brought it up to me, it's like, whenever people are discriminated against, it makes me feel bad too as well, because they shouldn't be. They need to be themselves.
Discrimination against one is discrimination against all.
Honestly, it is. And those who have felt that way in some way or another, I mean, or have had that kind of history or represent that kind of history, should honestly be supporting these people because they want to be themselves just like how we want to be ourselves.
Yeah. Amen. Amen.
That's me off my pedestal. That's it there.
Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. So thank you for hanging with us. I'm Gene.
And I'm Zane.
And you've been hanging with Uncle.
Have a wonderful weekend,
We'll
everybody.
see you next week, guys. Be safe.
Take care.